Hello, good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in the world. Welcome, race fans, to X Adventure here live on Twitch TV. I'm Dustin Moore, and it is time for the midpoint here of Season 54, featuring the 2010 Crown Victorias in the Forza Spec Racing Series, and the last season that this league will run in Forza Motorsport 7. We're coming off the heels of week number 2. We're on the heels of week number 2, in which we saw LS Subaru continue the dominance out in front, winning both those races just like he did back in week number 1. But we do have some drivers that have shifted around a little shifty on the overall leaderboard, if you will. Let's go ahead and take a look at that right now. LS Subaru sits on top there, 100 points. And if you're wondering, well, Dustin, if he's won 4 races, then why only 100 points? Well, we're factoring in the drop week rule. This is the championship point total as of right now. So this is just counting 1 week's total of points, which would be an indication as to why LMP Reina and Raged Barney are now sharing the second place. I know it says 1, 2, 3, 4 there on the left-hand side, but really, truly sharing second place with Audrex at 92 points apiece. Audrex able to muster a second and third place finish there in week number 2. As you can see, the Dubai Mountain, that should not be Dubain, but Dubai Mountain, and the Hockenheim Ring, a couple of top 3 finishes there for Audrex. CMD Slipstream and SGR Chaos Fox tied at 86 points apiece. Fear the Fun at 79. Dino Dado, who was not out on the track in week number 2. And as I take a look at the lobby here for week number 3, I don't see Dado yet. Hopefully, we'll see the Dado show up. 70 points, 66 there for Slow Motion Fire. Kuda 93 at 62. Midnight Rider 56, and onward from there. 16 drivers who have participated here in Season 54 thus far. If you are interested in participating either in the remainder of this season or want to kind of keep in the loop on all the things FM4 as they get ready to head into the new Forza Motorsport title, reddit.com/r/FM4 is where you need to go to introduce yourself. Say, hey, I'd like to participate in future races, and just kind of get a feel for how things are run, how the vehicles are set up, what specifications, what upgrades you need for the vehicle, what certain difficulty settings they do and do not permit. All that, of course, that could change, maybe not drastically, but it could change a bit heading into that new Forza title, depending on how those private lobbies are configured. Go ahead and take a look at the schedule, where we've been, where we are going here tonight, and where we will be 1 week from tonight and 2 weeks from tonight to close out Season 54. Road Atlanta, Bathurst, Mount Panorama, Dubai, Hockenheim Ring are all 4 in our rear view mirror. And this is sad. Shed a tear, chat, because really the theme here of Season 54 in terms of tracks, these are layouts. These are actual locales, not just the layout, but the locale that we are not expecting to return to the new Forza Motorsport title. In fact, I think we already know the track list at this point. So these will not be returning to Forza Motorsport, at least at launch. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if we see the likes of Road Atlanta, Sebring emerge at some point, but not at launch. Prague full circuit is what we've got here today. 14 laps, as you see there. I talked about this last Tuesday, and that this is probably my most favorite fictional circuit to exist in the Forza Motorsport franchise. So good to see this one on the list. Sad to see it go for the new title, I suppose. The Top Gear full circuit will be our second race of the evening. And no, that is not, I am not misspeaking there. I don't have the wrong title for the circuit on the schedule. They are going to do the Figure 8 full circuit out at Top Gear. So it is your first, and if the theme of the season here, Season 54, in tracks that won't appear in the new Forza Motorsport title, is anything to go by, this will be your last time to see the Forza Spec Racing Series racing a Figure 8, a figure of 8 here as an actual race event. Maybe they've done it before as a fun little intermission event, but never on the full schedule of races, to my knowledge. 1 week from tonight, we'll head out to Sebring for 13 laps in the dark. Then Rio de Janeiro, the other fictional circuit that is it is the newest, right? Rio is the newest of the fictional circuits. Well, it's going to go away. 12 laps there, and then 2 weeks from tonight, the finale there on September the 26th, Bernese Alps Club Circuit, 65 laps, all starting 8 p.m. Eastern, can be watched here on X Adventure Live. All right, back to the broadcast booth. Appreciate you joining in early. Those of you who are here now, those of you who might be watching on demand, thank you so much for being here. I'm happy. I've got myself a coffee tonight. Last Tuesday, I think I had a Dr. Pepper, and it just doesn't hit the same when I'm having to talk a lot. And so I noticed by the time I got done with the broadcast, I was like, man, I gotta make sure I gotta have the coffee grounds ready to go this time, because I see the difference between a Dr. Pepper and a coffee for commentating. Different worlds entirely. Really excited to see what we've got going on here in the lobby. It looks like we've got 12 drivers, so already, I believe, more than what we had in week number 2, which is great. Great to have that showing here. Enraged Barney, SGR Chaos Fox, Audrex, Patches Riley, Fear the Fun, Slow Motion Fire, Midnight Rider, LS Subaru, Mega Chen, Modern Weapon, Debronum, and Kuda93 are all currently logged in. So, yes, 12 drivers of the 23 grid spots available. I put the challenge out there that, hey, if we can get ourselves a full lobby by the end of the season, that would be fantastic. Fantastic. So, the challenge stands that if we want to get this a 23 racer lobby, then let's go. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Slottles. See, I remembered. Slottles says, probably going to be a lurker tonight. Too much homework. Oh, start of the school year. Too much homework. Completely understand. As always, whether you're a racer or a spectator here of the Forza Spec Racing Series, real world priorities should be priorities. So make them that. And, of course, hopefully Slottles maybe next Tuesday. Maybe not so much homework. How's everybody else doing tonight? We've got more streaming content coming to you here through the remainder of this week. Then things get a little bit different the following week because I've got some work stuff that's going on. And then the final stream of the channel here, X Adventure. I guess I'm a dead channel walking, a dead channel streaming right now. September 29th, the final stream of the channel with gonna not play any games. The only thing is I have to get a second camera going. That's the only thing about this final stream is like I got to get a second camera hooked up so that we could do the Lego Back to the Future DeLorean build. So that's what's happening. September 29th, final stream. Hope to see y'all there. I understand it's a Friday. People probably got more important things to do, better places to be, but if not, you know where to find me. All right, so looks like here we are at the top of the hour. And we're still sitting at the 12 drivers, just waiting for a few of them to ready up. And I imagine we'll get ready for qualifying here in just a bit. If you're curious about the format, because I already put the invitation out there that if you'd like to race with the Forza Spec League, let them know. And they can help you out in terms of getting everything set up. You can even race next Tuesday or the following Tuesday. It doesn't matter. You won't be in the running for the championship, but it's a good way to kind of get yourself acquainted and introduce yourself to the fellow drivers out on the track. But here's how it happens. Week 1 through 4, there are 2 races per evening, and each of those events have a 3-lap qualifying session. Now, because here in Forza Motorsport 7, there is no rolling start. It is a standing grid start. Your first lap on that qualifying session is that standing start, whereas the following 2 will then be the flying lap. The idea, try to post the quickest, cleanest qualifying time that you can. The slowest clean lap will always be faster than the fastest dirty lap. And that is to say, if you get an invalidated lap time, you'll be placed at the back of the grid order. No biggie. It's not like you can't race or anything like that. It just means that your invalidated lap time sets you at the back of the pack. That's okay. You can make your way back through. over the race period of a race. So they got that going on weeks 1 through 4 for each of the races. So for 8 races in total. And then on that 5th and final week, race number 9 is like a mini endurance event. And in this case, for season 54, as I just showed you on the schedule, we'll be headed out to the Bernese Alps for 65 laps. Usually, because the simulation damage, fuel depletion, and tire degradation is in play, usually warrants a pit stop or two. So that's what makes the final race of the season interesting. Add in the fact that it is double the points. The driver with the most points at the end of the season is the champion. There is a drop week rule in play, so your worst performance, the week in which you have the worst performance of those 2 races, or heck, maybe it's the finale, that gets dropped from your total championship tally. So if you happen to miss a week, if you happen to just have a poor racing performance one week, maybe you get disconnected from the lobby, that's okay. You'll have the rest of the weeks to try to make up for it, taking only your top 4. All right, qualifying is underway here out at the beautiful circuit of Prague. I kid you not, I really do like this track. I wasn't too fond of it when it released on, gosh, we did this the other day. What was this? Was this Forza Motorsport 5 or 6? I think it was 5, because this was the introduction to the next generation, if you will, of Forza Motorsport on the Xbox One. Rage Barney, the first off the line to lead them around the circuit. And there you go. That's quite possibly the best view of the whole circuit here. At the top of the ribbon there, you just kind of see down into the city center, the river, the sun. I think there's only one skybox for this track, and this is it. The kind of mostly cloudy early in the day look, I believe. A lot of cool murals spread about the track, some Coca-Cola-esque murals here. Right there. And now you go underneath the, I don't know if you can really call it a tunnel. I guess it could be considered a tunnel. More like an overhang. The overhang of the building there. And then around that big sweeping left-hander or right-hander, if you happen to be going in this on this track in reverse. Big sweeping left-hander, and then charging over the cobblestone bridge. Really tricky section here that's going to test your ability to hold a solid line, not get loose, because if you do, you got concrete barriers on both sides ready to catch you. And, of course, catching is maybe a bit of a nice term. Oftentimes, you'll suffer some vehicle damage making contact, coming that quickly through the chute there on the back portion of this circuit. All right, LS Subaru with a 208 triple ones for the standing start lap. Let's go back to, this is going to be Modern Weapon, who currently has the 3rd quickest qualifying time. Trotton, what's going on? Barney may be having a good race, but he's gaslighting me by saying he's in chat, so I don't think the race counts. Oh, man. Well, I don't know. Already said hello there to Slottles, Trotton Boots, Ghibli Giblets here in the chat. DJ S. Pakuli is here. Slow Motion Fire, of course. LS Subaru, thank you so much for the heartbeats in the chat. And by that I mean let me know that you're the viewers are alive and not just bots. There's DWM Frog. Hello, good evening. Out of the downhill right-hander, then you hit this hump, which in faster vehicles can get you airborne. But here in the A700 2010 Crown Victoria by Ford, 498 horsepower, but 3,400 pounds of vehicle curb weight. Of course, with the race weight reduction, that's helped bring that tally down, that total weight down a little bit. But still, not able to get the vehicle airborne from what I can tell. Look at that, SGR Chaos Fox clocking in at a 207.898. So as it stands right now, although, dare I say, this will change, Chaos Fox set to start on pole. We'll see how that may get switched up here next time by the flag stand. Let's go to Fear the Fun, currently 5th quickest qualifying time now through the S. It's like the Prague bus stop, although it's a very quick bus stop. You're not spending a whole lot of time there waiting for people to jump in. A little left, right, left action. And then the sharper left-hand hairpin back toward the start-finish line. And across the line, LS Subaru able to shave off 4 seconds there, down to 2:03.140. 2:03.140 for Subaru. Second quickest qualifying. Gosh, say that 3 times quick. Audrex second. SGR Chaos Fox third. Midnight Rider fourth. Enraged Barney rounds out the top 5. Ooh, locking up the brakes there is Modern Weapon. And I believe making contact with that inner wall. So for Modern Weapon, this may be an invalidated third and final qualifying lap. As you can see, Modern Weapon's vehicle ghosted out again. Beautiful thing that we have in the virtual world of racing, where we can have all these drivers qualifying simultaneously. It's awesome. Let's go to Midnight Rider. Look at that paint job. It's the chameleon. It's purple at one angle, green another. Underneath the buttresses, is that the correct term for those things? Yeah, I don't know that they're buttresses, but I'm going to say it because why not? All right, here comes Midnight Rider over the bridge. Now, let's go ahead and ride on board here. Just to give you all, for those of you who don't play Forza Motorsport 7, but rather just watch, here's a good idea of what I'm talking about. As you come off the bridge, you got the left, right, left. There you go. And then final corner coming up here back toward the start-finish line. Chaos Fox in tow there with Midnight Rider. As they get ready to cross the line, it looks like LS Subaru is going to hold on for the pole sitting time of 2:02.862, actually getting that there in the 3rd lap. Followed by Audrex, Fear the Fun, Chaos Fox, and Midnight Rider. Patches, Enraged Barney, Modern Weapon, Slow Motion Fire, and Cuda 93 make up your top 10. And then we'll have to take a look here at the final qualifying times just to see where our remaining 2 drivers may slot in here for the start of race number 5 here, season 54. LS Subaru, again, with that pole sitting 2:02.862. Don't get confused here. Just because Subaru has the pole sitting time and is showing as position 1 on this leaderboard, everybody else is just kind of shuffled about. This is not arranged by best lap, so we're going to have to leave it to the trusty numerical skills, I guess, of Slow Motion Fire to organize these accordingly. 212.0 there for Modern Weapon. Enraged Barney with a 209.5. Again, I believe that puts Barney back in 7th position for the start of this Prague race. 206.014 for Fear the Fun. I believe that's good enough for row number 2, followed by the 207.700 there by Midnight Rider for 5th position. 206.018 Chaos Fox, a 204.4 there for Audrex. Megachin clocking in with a 213.2, at least able to muster a clean lap, which will put Megachin in front of Slow Motion Fire and DeBronham, each with their each who have an invalidated qualifying time, as you can see by the exclamation mark inside the triangle annotation. 206.9 invalidated there for Slow Motion Fire. Cuda 93 with a 208.1, Patches Riley a 205.8, and DeBronham 208.8. Unfortunately, not a clean lap. All right, chat. Well, there you go. Our qualifying session in here for race number 5 of the season. And after this race, we have officially hit the halfway point. Our next race of the evening, race number 6 here of 9 in the season, will be our start of the second half. All right. Wow. It looks like we've added. We've added a driver or two. Yeah, we are up to 14 drivers now. T-Phrase has joined the mix along with Born as Ghosts. All right. So where there were 12, there are now 14. Love to see it. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Big Rig Wayne, Silver, Alethea for the follows here. Over the last, 48 hours or so. Thank you so much. I know Big Rig Wayne provided their follow while I was doing my American Truck Simulator stream, which we might be doing again here this coming Sunday. I'm not quite sure. I don't have that content set up quite yet, but we will be doing some Microsoft Flight Simulator here on Friday in the V22 Osprey. I had so much fun in it last time that I said, let's fire it up and let's do this again. So we're going to do a little bit of flying and flight sim here on Friday starting at approximately 3 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, I'll be back on with some sort of content. Could be American Truck Simulator, could be something else. But that will start at 9 a.m. Eastern. And then, of course, 1 week from tonight, right here, same time, same channel, Forza Spec Racing Series, week number 4. A penultimate week. Let's go ahead and take a look at those standings here just again, as I know some of y'all are filtering into the broadcast, finding your seat. You're finding your seat in the grandstands. Just don't sit on gum. LS Subaru atop the leaderboard, 100 points, 3 drivers with 92 points. Only 2 of them right now are in the lobby. That would be Enraged Barney and Audrex. So unfortunately for Reyna, who had a swell performance there in week number 1, unable to race in week number 2, it appears unable to race here in week number 3, and so that's going to put Reyna in a position of having 2 goose eggs. Can only drop 1. But again, you know, that's what this league is all about. It's there for you when you want it, when you need it. If you can't be there for 1 week or 2 weeks, or maybe you can only be there 1 week out of the season, but you'd like to participate, I'm sure they'd love to have you. Of course, when the new Forza Motorsport comes out and the community is reinvigorated, as I have probably said one too many times, then it might be a little bit more difficult to get in there sporadically on a whim, ad hoc. Because there are only going to be 24 spots per lobby, which is the same as what we've got here in Forza Motorsport 7. And because the Forza Spec Racing Series in the past has certainly had completely filled lobbies, it might make things a little bit more tricky in terms of like jumping in and out of a season. So it might have to go back to one of those, you're committing to being there as much as you can. Obviously, if something happens, no biggie. There's going to be a reserve list, all that. We'll see. NWR Onion says, the number 1 Barney hater is present. Y'all love to hate. Y'all love to hate. You show up here on a Tuesday, which I love, just to give Barney a bad time, a hard time. He unfortunately can't read chat. He broke his Twitch again. Oh, dang. Broke the Twitch. Yeah. Such a fragile Twitch, that. All right, so like I said, we've got 2 additional drivers in here. So we're up to 14. We're just 9 away, chat, from a full lobby in the final season, season 54. Between now and the finale in week 9, surely we can hit 23 racers. Yeah? No? Tell your friends. Tell your friends. Come race with me. Want to be a part of the action. All right. So Much Fire lets me know that we are ready to rock and roll. It's going to be LS Subaru Audrex on row number 1. Patches Riley, Fear the Fun in row number 2. And as things work here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, they'll all be on the grid. And as soon as LS Subaru moves an inch with that 2010 Ford Crown Victoria, everybody else is also able to depart. Engines are revving, and here we go. Kick the tires, light the fires. Forza Spec Racing Series Season 54. It is their final run here in Forza Motorsport 7. Week number 3, race number 5. It's underway. LS Subaru leading the pack through and around the right-hander along the riverbank, up the hill, in first and by already about a car-and-a-half length lead there over Odds Rex. In second, Patches Riley. In third, Fear the Fun. That's where we're going to put our camera right now. In fourth, going to go side by side there with Chaos Fox as they make that charge up the hill. They're going to continue side by side. Fear the Fun into the driver's door panel there of Patches Riley. Contact all over the place. SGR Chaos Fox gets slowed up, and I think was just trying to avoid it. Looked like maybe as we were riding on board there with Fear the Fun, that Fear was going across multiple lines of traffic, and so the best thing that Chaos Fox could do is just pull up off the throttle and coast it for a little bit. And as a result, we're going to find ourselves with Fear the Fun in fourth, Patches in fifth, Modern Weapon in sixth, Kuda in seventh, Chaos Fox back there in eighth position. That contact that we saw between Fear the Fun and Patches Riley, I doubt it has caused any damage to their vehicles, but let's go ahead and verify that here as we take a look at Fear the Fun's vehicle. Sure enough, no damage on all corners of the vehicle. If we go back to Patches Riley, who now finds themselves in sixth position. Oh, Patches Riley, yes, did not fare well. In fact, look at that, 100% all about the vehicle. I'm not sure that was a result of the contact with Fear the Fun. Did that happen a little bit later on? Let's go back up to Fear the Fun here in fourth position, and let's go take a look at the X-Adventure replay here of the crazy congestion as they were getting ready to head up the hill. As we see here, LS Subaru, again, leading the pack on the left-hand side of the screen. There we go. We switch over, and yeah, it was almost 3 wide there for a moment. And then here's where the contact comes. Yeah, okay, Patches Riley did hit that wall pretty hard. And then as our camera pulls out there, you see Chaos Fox just off pace, off speed, and kind of allowing things to pan out. If we go take a look at Chaos Fox's vehicle, I don't think we'll find any damage there. Actually, there is. So Chaos Fox not only was slowed down, probably made contact either with Fear the Fun or with Patches Riley. Perhaps as Patches Riley bounced off the wall, came back into the racing line of Chaos Fox, because you see all that damage is up front. So Chaos Fox, unfortunately, getting into the back end of somebody with all the craziness happening there in the early sector of lap number 1. We are now on lap number 2. Chaos Fox continues to look very much hampered in their driving ability. That vehicle kind of just swerving all over the place, and sadly, Chaos Fox might have to just concede that this thing needs to go into pit lane. We move back up to third position here. Enraged Barney in the Pegasus. This would be a Grand Theft Auto livery, I believe. Bouncing off the Microsoft-sponsored concrete barrier there. Around that sweeping left-hander, keeping it nice and tidy. A lot of drivers, well, I shouldn't say a lot of drivers. That would be an exaggeration. But some drivers we'll see run that corner well wide. But Enraged Barney taking the quicker line on the inside. Here they go off the bridge and through the city sector. Over the cobblestones, jumping the sidewalk there. Gets you airborne a little bit. Modern Weapon finally going to make it around here, back toward the pit lane entry. Here comes Fear the Fun, trying to keep pace with Enraged Barney and have a shot at finishing third. Let's go to Odds Rex, who, as I mentioned at the top of the broadcast, now has 92 points, tied with Enraged Barney and with LMP Reina. Unfortunately, LMP Reina unable to race last week and this week. It's really going to be a battle between Odds Rex and Enraged Barney for that P2 position, back behind LS Subaru on the overall leaderboard. Back up the hill here, not race number 3, but lap number 3. A lot more comfortable through this section is Odds Rex, as the congestion, the bulk of drivers have now thinned themselves out. We've got two main packs, your top 4 drivers, and then from 5th all the way back to about 11th or so, is another group, although it's really 5th to 8th, but we'll add, or 5th to 9th, I should say, but we'll add T-Phrase and Mega Chin into the equation there, 10th and 11th. It is Chaos Fox who is leading that bunch. Microsoft-sponsored concrete is extra reliable, just like the company. Thanks again to all of you who have tuned in here on a Tuesday evening. I hope you had a good day. If not, maybe making the day a bit better. I'm Dustin Moore. That's me. No, it's actually AI. That's AI. No, it's me. Glad to have you here. We've got just, what, 2.5 weeks of racing left in Season 54, this being the final season in Forza Motorsport 7. They polled the drivers. The drivers said, hey, there were several vehicles from which the drivers could select as the final vehicle of the season, or final vehicle final vehicle of their Forza Motorsport 7 run. And the prevailing winner of the votes was 2010 Crown Victoria, as you see here. Again, 498 horsepower, an almost equal amount of torque, 482, in a vehicle that weighs 3,454 pounds. Let's go back to Born as Ghost in 6th position. That brings the vehicle, oh my gosh, we got all kinds of chaos happening here. Off of the start of lap number 4. I don't know why I'm getting race, turn, lap all confused, but yeah, looking at Born as Ghost, they're pretty confused with all the little bollards popping up there, running wide into that right-hander. Now underneath the bridge, coming up the hill, and has lost pace with the main group here. Let's take a look at Born as Ghost. Any damage to that vehicle? Fortunately, it would appear it was a glancing blow there with the outside wall. But look at this. They are too wide. If we can get the camera to pan to the right direction, and unfortunately, we've got the loading screen here, and again, we have likely, well, we did not lose anybody. At least the ticker does not show a DNF. But I'm not sure what's going on. Craziness. LS Subaru, okay, Midnight Rider. Midnight Rider is now out of the race, DNF, so we are down to 13. And really, this is an exciting battle here. Again, being led, or was being led, by SGR Chaos Fox. Now it's Cuda93, followed by Born as Ghost, Slow Motion Fire, T-Phrase. That is because Chaos Fox has opted to go into pit lane 1 lap ago. We saw the severe 100% damage to the front end of Chaos Fox's Crown Vic. And here they go, bumper to bumper. It is packed here in Prague as they continue to be single file coming up to the final turn. The left-hander for the beginning of lap number 5. And it looks like Kuda is going to hold on for now, but here comes Slow Motion Fire, maybe looking to the inside, following the path of Born as Ghost. They're going to see if they can't make use of each other here. A little bump draft action, not going to make it happen. Across the bridge they go. And now let's see what happens as they go into the right-hander 1 lap ago. This is where we saw Born as Ghost off into the right-hand side of the wall. And oh my gosh, not the right-hand side of the wall, the left-hand side. And oh my, some severe lag here. Yeah, that happens in virtual racing from time to time. As our race leader makes his way around some lap traffic, the back marker of, that's going to be Mega Chin in 11th position, but it seems like LS Subaru has gotten by without any issue. Drex, the next one to encounter Mega Chin. Let's go back to Enraged Barney. Now in 3rd position, P3, getting ready to go into the left-hander and then up onto the bridge. Trot Boot says, it's quite night for me and Slottles, at least. Lots of homework since the latter classes have finally started, or the later classes have finally started. Ah, yes. Yeah, you got that the one class that's like a straggling start. Oh, and Chaos Fox is out as well. So where there were 14, we are now down to 12. We had 12 who qualified. 12 who were in the qualifying session, and we've got a car that's turned around. Come on, camera. That's, I believe that's going to be Mega Chin. It is. Mega Chin, our back marker, getting spun around here in the second to last corner. But it looks like Midnight did, or not Midnight, but Mega Chin did not collect any of our top 4 drivers as Audrex, Enraged Barney, and Fear the Fun continue on. Cuda93 now has gained some separation on Slow Motion Fire. Slow Motion Fire in 6th, Born as Ghost in 7th, T-Phrase in 8th, DeBronham back there in 9th, Patches Riley is 10th, Mega Chen in 11th, Modern Weapon in 12th. Not Chaos Fox is trotting. Yeah, that's unfortunate because Chaos Fox, as we know, in week number 1 had a disconnect that was beyond their control. And so you're thinking, all right, well, let's just hope that everything holds up for the remaining 4 weeks and that Chaos Fox is able to have a stellar finish to the season. But I'm not sure if it was an involuntary disconnect or if it was voluntary. Maybe Chaos Fox just having too tough a go after what was a rough start to this one there on the uphill section. First quarter of the track on lap number 1. The main catalyst for any incidents there seemed to be when Fear the Fun and Patches Riley made contact. Sent Patches Riley up onto the high wall and likely bounced out in front of the majority of vehicles since they were all bunched up there from the start. All right, well, the field has really thinned itself out now in terms of close battles. We'll keep the camera here on Audrex and see if Enraged Barney is able to close in. It really is not only the best battle out on the track at the moment, but again, they both entered week number 3 with 92 points apiece. Audrex able to pick up 2 top 3 finishes there in week number 2 out at Dubai and Hockenheimring. And so Audrex trying to move even further up the leaderboard, perhaps be on the heels of LS Subaru come week number 4. We do have a nice little battle getting ready to form here with Cuda93 in 5th, Slow Motion Fire in 6th, and then not too far behind them, well, nope, T-Phrase has got some back markers behind him, but DeBronham there in 8th, quite a ways back. So yes, a battle for 2nd, kind of taking shape here if Enraged Barney can keep pace, and then possibly between Cuda93 and Slow Motion Fire for P5. We'll go ahead and put the camera here on Enraged Barney just so you can see the separation here between 2nd and 3rd. It is a spec series. That means all of these Crown Victorias are upgraded with the same components. Now, those components which can be tuned, the drivers have the ability to tune to their liking, and possibly if they're this picky about it and planful, they can even tune them per race. So you're not locked into a single tune for the entirety of the season, although LS Subaru has done that to try to challenge himself. See if he can't make it a little bit closer of a battle for first. That has not taken shape yet. But the vehicle is upgraded with race exhaust, race cam valves, race twin turbo, I should say race cams and valves, race twin turbo, a street flywheel, race brakes, race springs and dampers, race roll bar, as you can see through the window of the Crown Vics. Race chassis reinforcement and roll cage. I checked that. The roll bars would be underneath the vehicle. It's the roll cage that you could see through the window. A race weight reduction, which again brings the The hefty 2010 Ford Crown Vic down to 3,454 pounds. Race clutch, race transmission, race driveline, race differential, and then race tires. 275/47 R17s up front, while at the back you got 275/45 R17s at the rear. They are wrapped around Oz F1 deep wheels. All-wheel drive conversion, and the aforementioned twin-turbo aspiration upgrade. No longer naturally aspirated. NWR Onion there in the chat. Barney sucks. Barney is not sucking at all. He's in third here, and keeping pretty close tabs on the what looks to be a yellow cab of Audrex up ahead. That's really what it looks like. Audrex not going all out on the livery here for season 47, which typically we see Audrex put a little bit more effort into it. Yes, I know. You guys are poking fun out of love. You are proud of him. You were Onion is not proud of Bart. Okay, we have conflicting messages. All right, across the line goes LS Subaru, beginning of lap number 9 of 14. Just 14, not 15. You ain't first, you're last. Fair enough, Onion. Where are you? Where are you on the track, Onion? I don't see you. I'll poke back at you on Barney's behalf. Fear the Fun in 4th position, trying to get into the mix here. I don't think Fear the Fun has been able to close the gap. Really, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, pretty consistent in their pacing from lap to lap. Just now getting ready to cross the line will be 5th of CUDA 93. Slow Motion Fire hasn't been able to close that gap either. In fact, it looks like Slow Motion Fire seems to be losing a little bit of pace on CUDA 93. T-Phrase in 7th all by themselves, except for one back marker in the rearview mirror. Gotta go all the way back to Patches Riley in 8th position, about, I don't know, an eighth of a lap away from T-Phrase. DeBronham in 9th, Born as Ghost in 10th. Then you got Modern Weapon and Megachin, 11 and 12. But it really doesn't matter these drivers' skill levels. We've got drivers definitely of all different backgrounds in terms of how long they've been playing the game, maybe what their favorite division is, what their favorite car, what their favorite engine and drivetrain configurations are. And so, really it's all about coming out here and having fun, finding somebody that you compete closely with, and making it a challenge with them. And then, of course, if the byproduct of that is that you get better week after week and you can contest the top spot, you can contend for the P1 position, then by all means, enjoy it, relish in it, because it's been quite a while here as LS Subaru's dominance in the Forza Spec Racing Series has been ongoing here for about 12 seasons. All right, so Audrex. Chat, what did I miss? I know I flipped forward to Enraged Barney in P2, but I didn't quite catch what had happened. And now we've got Audrex in 3, Enraged Barney in 2. Huge impact to the overall leaderboard situation right now, where those two were tied at 92 points apiece. And now Audrex has Fear the Fun lurking back behind. Let's go back up to Audrex here in 3rd, and let's see. The vehicle? No, well, I can't tell if that's the glitched percentage, but it actually looks authentic. It looks like Audrex is suffering from some transmission damage, perhaps over-revving. And while 8% doesn't mean anything for tire degradation, 8% certainly doesn't really mean much in terms of fuel depletion, 8% of the clutch does seem to have a noticeable effect at your ability to shift and shift quickly. NWR Onion saying 8% damage is not this much slower. Yeah, no, I mean, maybe Audrex is trying to recover and get refocused after making a mistake. Clearly something happened that sent Audrex back a spot and this far. I mean, not only did Enraged Barney move up to P2, but now Enraged Barney has nobody up ahead, nobody back behind. But whatever it was that happened at oh gosh, now we've got a vehicle that's going to be Audrex. Audrex appears to have parked himself, and not on purpose, not looking for the valet here, but rather severe damage all the way around, and that is terrible news for Audrex, who again is trying to move up the leaderboard, was fourth, technically tied for second, but showing as fourth on the overall leaderboard. Looking to maybe only come away with a few points here in race number 5. And with that, Fear the Fun, by default, claims P3. Not by default, I'm sorry. Fear the Fun's been working hard all race here. Even after the contact with Patches Riley early on. And Audrex looks like going to stay in the race, into pit lane right now. Slow Motion Fire now up to fourth. So Slow Motion Fire finding a way around Cuda93. In fact, they're going to continue to battle here. As Cuda93 kind of peeking to the outside now, coming up the hill. Let's see if Cuda93 is going to take a shot. It's kind of a risky move if you do it here. If you start sliding up toward the wall, then you see what happens, like kind of akin to Patches Riley earlier. Of course, Patches had a little bit of help in that, but Cuda making a little bit of contact there on the rear left bumper of Slow Motion Fire. And now as they come screaming down the hill, you see putting on the brakes ever so slightly just to hunker down and hold on to that inside line, getting ready to come back down. And you got the trolley tracks here to work with. Not really, I don't think they have that significant of an impact in terms of handling, but you see the differences in lines there as Slow Motion Fire opts to take basically a run along the guardrail on the outside versus Cuda93, who really just sat low, and although it looks slower, you're traveling less distance, and so Cuda93 able to stay right there on the back bumper as they come out of this final left-hander, get ready to charge across the bridge, and we'll start their lap number 12. Right here, this is where Audrex had some sort of incident. Oh, and Cuda93 is now going to have an incident, tagging the wall. And just like that, Cuda93 is going to end up into pit lane. So some crucial mistakes here, not only early on in the race, but relatively late in the race, is going to have a pretty significant effect on where our drivers are going to finish. That moves everybody up pretty much a spot if Cuda93 is not able to get going. It looks like Cuda93 has got it moving forward ever so slowly, trying to muster whatever performance he can out of that engine, which is undoubtedly 100% damaged. Fortunately for Cuda93, not long to get back to pit lane, but the time spent there is not going to be kind. And we've got another vehicle here, is Fear the Fun. Somebody's parked to the inside there at the entry of this left-hander. So Prague really giving our drivers a hard time here ever since lap number 1, where we saw an incident between Patches, Fear the Fun, and possibly Chaos Fox. I can't confirm whether or not Chaos Fox was part of the incident that we saw between Patches and Fear, but man, not every lap, but every so often here, we're finding a driver being dealt significant damage, making contact with the walls. That's what these city courses do not allow. Even the smallest mistake, if it sends you sliding, you're going to find the wall. Or in the case of the city center section, as you're coming off the bridge, moving too quickly through there, but just missing your steering point, your turn-in point, it's going to put you out of the race real fast. Less Subaru as we give a little bit of camera time to our race leader looking to pick up a 5th straight victory here in Season 54. Enraged Barney in 2nd, Fear the Fun in 3rd, Slow Motion Fire is in 4th, Audrex now in 5th. So Audrex is out of pit lane, getting ready to start lap 13. The question for Audrex is, can he catch up with Slow Motion Fire and possibly move into P4? Patches Riley in 6th, DeBronham in 7th, T-Phrase in 8th, Cuda93 in 9th, Born as Ghost in 10th, Modern Weapon in 11th, and Megachin in 12th. And while you might think that, hey, some of these crashes look pretty disastrous and would be, you know, pretty devastating and well, I guess it really take the wind out of your sails and you almost instantly lose the motivation to continue on, you really do want to get into pit lane, get the car fixed, and back out there, because a DNF will only net you 3 points. Versus you get back out there, and if you finish in the top 10, well, then you're tripling, quadrupling that number. Oh, there goes Fear the Fun. Fear the Fun's got to be careful. You know, I'm never one to tell somebody how they should drive, how they should race, but you would think that maybe at this point of the race, with just what will be a lap to go here as the white flag drops for Fear the Fun on this 14th and final lap, that you might just be kind of in cruise control mode to make sure you get across the line safely. We're going to hang out here with Fear the Fun because it's now Fear the Fun trying to chase down Enraged Barney. Enraged Barney did have to navigate around one of the back markers, but was able to do so without incident. Let's go back here to our X-Adventure replay. And let's see if we could try to identify, well, the camera is not going to do us any favors. Well, we know exactly what happened, is that Cuda93 on the exit of the chicane here, tagged the wall there, but then is going to slide the back end out, and bam, catches the wall and just propels that car across the track. Fortunately for Cuda and for everybody else, no one was back behind Cuda following that incident. All right, here we are, final lap, LS Subaru with less than half the track remaining. Going across the bridge, looking to pick up a 5th consecutive victory here in Season 54, just dominating, is not practicing whatsoever. That's one of the caveats for Subaru here in Season 54, is no practice and has to use the same tune for all 9 races, and it's having a negligible effect. Maybe Subaru is noticing it behind the wheel, but we certainly are not. The checkers going to Subaru. Enraged Barney now has a back marker between him and Fear the Fun. So unless something drastic happens here to Enraged Barney, going to pick up 2nd place and the biggest benefactor to Audrex's incident here about, what was that, 3-4 laps ago. Across the line, Enraged Barney, Fear the Fun, Slow Motion Fire on the other side of the track. I think we're pretty safe to say here this is how they're going to finish. We have really no other battles out on the circuit, so they'll just come back toward the start-finish line so that the Forza Spec Racing Series crew can take note of where everybody finished. Again, it's going to be Subaru in P1, followed by Enraged Barney, followed by Fear the Fun and Slow Motion Fire, Audrex, Patches, congratulations to Patches, finishing 6th after having to go into pit lane off of the first lap. DeBronham. That's actually very impressive there by Patches. Very, very impressive. Defray's in 8th, followed by Kuda 93. It's going to leave Born as Ghost in 10th position. And then Modern Weapon. And looks like we maybe had another disconnect there toward the end of the race, which is unfortunate. That's a lot of points lost getting that DNF. All right, chat, as we normally do, I'll take this moment here to go ahead and take a break. A little intermission for the broadcast. I'm going to go fill up my coffee mug, get a breather, so that we can get ready for what's bound to be a very, very exciting race number 6 here in Season 54. They are racing the Top Gear test track, and they are racing the Figure 8, the full circuit. So carnage may ensue. Now, they'll have the simulation damage turned off because there's no pit lane there. They always have that no matter what out at the Top Gear test track. But it could be all the more exciting just because, you know, it's a Figure 8. So don't go anywhere. I promise you, you won't miss anything. I'm going to play a little bit of music for the subscribers. Thank you for your support. And for those of you who do see ads, please just kind of hang tight through the ads. The most valuable and purposeful thing for me to be able to run these ads right now is it helps those who join the stream a little bit later on to avoid the pre-rolls. You know the pre-rolls, the pesky ads that show up right as you jump into a channel. Well, I try to help alleviate that a little bit here by having this intermission period where you miss not a thing. And then when we get to the backside, we'll talk to maybe a driver or two in our driver spotlight. We'll get ready for qualifying and then the race. Top Gear test track. You're watching Forza Spec Racing Series Season 54, week number 3 action. We're halfway through, onto the back half of this season, the final season here in Forza Motorsport 7 X Adventure on Twitch. I'll be right back. Welcome back, y'all, and thank you very much for those of you who made the emotes dance in the chat and on the screen during the break. I'm Dustin Moore. Welcome back to what is the midpoint here of season 54. We get ready for a race that has not ever been seen in the Forza Spec Racing Series. They're going to run the figure eight out at the Top Gear test track. This is the final season that they are racing in Forza Motorsport 7, and because the new Forza Motorsport is just weeks away, it is the last season. Well, it's not only the last season they're running in FM7, as I already mentioned, but it is also a season in which they are running tracks that are not making its way into the new Forza Motorsport title, at least not on launch. Not at launch. There might be others that come in a little bit later on, but not at the launch of the season. Let's go ahead and turn on over to the driver's spotlight here as we talk to drivers following the race out at Prague. The 14 laps around that 3.51 mile circuit. And in here we've got Slow Motion Fire. Man, Slow Motion Fire, you benefited a little bit from the attrition of the drivers that had incidents there early on in the race, and not even early on in the race, all throughout the race. Able to finish in fourth, but it was also due to your good driving. We saw there you had a battle with Cuda 93 for a bit. And then after Audrex was able to, Audrex had his incident and was able to get into pit lane, there just weren't enough laps left in the race for him to catch up to you.
Yeah. Early on, I kind of got shuffled back there. There was a pretty major crash in the Tunnel of Love, and that kind of separated the field into those two packs there, and then clawed back every position as people would have incidents and ended up making it up to fourth there. But yeah, there just was not enough laps to try and run down Fear.
Tunnel of Love. Why didn't I come up with that? I don't know, but yeah, we saw the incident early on. Fear the Fun and Patches Riley at like turn, I don't know, 3 on the uphill portion, but then several drivers just kind of losing focus or whatever the case may be, and having incidents there. And again, you were the beneficiary there, finishing in P4. What part of you? Because we were watching Fear the Fun there in the last, I don't know, lap and a half. And there were times where he looked like he was getting a little rambunctious for whatever reason, because wasn't really close to Enraged Barney. I think maybe had a back marker near him once, but was there a part of you that was like, as soon as Fear the Fun makes a mistake, I'm ready to pounce?
Nah, because there wasn't enough laps there. So once I got around Kuda and he had a little mistake and he dropped back, then it kind of fell into, okay, now just conserve this position. Don't do anything stupid. Bring it home.
Yeah. Talking with Fear the Fun, who runs things here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, with some help, of course. But now you guys are getting ready to do something that, am I wrong in saying that this is the first time? I know there are many seasons that the Forza Spec Racing Series has been racing, and I've only been part of maybe, I don't know, maybe half or a little bit less than half. But is this not the first time that you all have run the Top Gear test track in terms of the figure 8 configuration?
Yeah, this will be the one and only time we have ever run the full layout of Top Gear. So we figured for the farewell season, if there was ever a time to do it, now's the time.
Okay. And I think we talked a little bit about this maybe last week or perhaps in the very first week, but what's the rules of engagement here, knowing that we've got the figure 8?
Yeah, so around here we're asking everybody to, keep it within track limits, try and run Forza clean. There, it's just kind of you're running the two separate lines, so where they come together entirely up to the drivers to determine how they're going to pursue that. So I imagine we'll see drivers in the front pursue the middle a little more with a little more caution than drivers in the back that are just going to send it because they got nothing to lose. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there.
It will be interesting indeed. Of course, we got to get through the 3 laps of qualifying first and foremost. But remind me too, because the Forza Spec Racing Series runs with the Forza race regulations turned on, which helps clear the track of any extra tire barriers and stuff that wouldn't normally be on a racetrack, but are there for the sake of trying to keep corner cutters from corner cutting. But once you put that into place here out at Top Gear, does that remove the tire barrier at the exit of the figure 8? I believe it's referred to as Chicago, if I remember correctly. Or does that stay there?
I don't remember. It removes quite a few of them from cutting some of the insides of the corners, so you've
Yeah.
got better sight lines. The one you're talking about, I don't know, because about half of them are there and half of them are removed.
The hammerhead, I believe, which is notorious for having a bunch of just uh, made up barriers, and I mean that because again, they didn't exist when Top Gear did their thing out at the circuit. But the hammerhead I know is like the biggest area where that gets cleaned up with Forza Race regs. But I believe that that tire barrier on the eggs of the figure eight will still be there because that's just a mainstay of the track. So gonna be exciting. I don't know. Do you what you've given us the rules of engagement, but what's your plan of attack? Do you try to charge hard as you would normally do for every race to try to finish up toward the front so that you can maybe catch those who are trailing behind in the figure eight if you're really looking to cause some chaos? Or is this a race where you're like, you know what, I want to try to mess up somebody else's race and I'm going to run at the back and just catch whoever's, you know, leading the pack up front?
Oh no, I want to get as many positions as I can at the start there and
There
run
you
with the
go.
fast guys, and then hopefully never have any slow cars to encounter. But we're just gonna have to see. It's gonna depend where you're running, how brave you want to be.
Yeah. Trotting Boots, as soon as you jumped into the driver's spotlight, said, "Woo, best racer," and showing it right there. Not looking to get into shenanigans, but rather going to continue to press for top spot, and of course, moving up the leaderboard. Really beneficial here in terms of points coming off of Prague, finishing in fourth. So much fire, great job out there. Best of luck to you in the qualifying here at Top Gear.
All right, thank you, Dustin. We'll catch you later.
Yep. All right, so there's Fear the Fun. Let's go ahead and bring, or excuse me, not Fear the Fun. There goes Slow Motion Fire. Did I, what, was I calling him Fear the Fun again?
Yeah, yeah, you referred to him as Fear like at least once.
Slow Motion Fire is going to be like good riddance, Dustin. when there's no more broadcasting, no more spectating to be had, because I keep referring to him as Fear the Fun. Go figure. I said fear a few times. Oh, no, I said fire a few times. Okay, well, as long as the number of times I called him slow motion fire versus times that I called him fear are higher, then I'm good. I'm good. Fear, fire, pretty close. I get it. Yeah. Ella Subaru, I would say another Sunday drive for you at Prague, but man, there was all kinds of stuff happening out there. Unfortunately, you know, as is normally the case, when you're so far ahead, we don't have the camera on you. So, did you have to deal with any of the clutter out on the track with drivers making mistakes, or was it, you know, everything pretty clean for you?
I think for me, it was pretty quiet. Of course, I had to navigate some lap traffic
Yeah.
from some of the back markers, but other than that, it was a pretty quiet race.
Prague fictional track. Do you think you race that one ever again in Forza Motorsport? I mean, we know that it's not transitioning into the new title, but do you go back to that circuit at all between now and early October?
Uh, Probably not. I only play this game unless I'm doing FM4, so
Okay,
probably not.
so it's long gone. It is long gone.
Oh yeah.
All right, well, so now we go from Prague, which is in your rearview mirror, never to be seen again, to what you got before you, which is the Top Gear circuit. Of course, we'll do the qualifying thing first, but what are you looking out for as the number one driver getting around the track, knowing that the rules of engagement have loosened up a little bit? You got to get yourself through the figure eight. Granted, there's no simulation damage turned on, so that's a positive if there's any contact made. But yeah, just how are you approaching this as maybe we get into the midway point of this figure of eight Top Gear test track race?
Just the same as always. Just race to the best of my ability, have fun, and if anything happens in the intersections, then it happens.
Okay, if it happens, it happens. That's good. That's good. I guess in a weird way, that's good sportsmanship in realizing that's just the way that this race may pan out. It's kind of weird though to think that getting hit could show how you were a sports very sportsmanlike by not taking too much offense to it. So We'll see if that's actually something to worry about in this race. What about the Top Gear test track? You say you do most of your racing in the Forza Motorsport Racing Series. They don't oftentimes come out here. When they do, it's just the outer loop. So how familiar are you going to be with the circuit getting around here for, what is it, the 23 laps?
I think I should be relatively okay. I did some while I was playing on this track in Gran Turismo 5, as I'm currently playing that on my PS3 emulator. So uh, whether or not that counts as practice, that'll be up for debate.
Okay. All right. Well, you got 5 wins of the first 5 races, trying to make it 6 in a row here in season 54. As we go out to the Top Gear test track, it's looking a little soupy out there, a little cloudy, but no precipitation expected. LS Subaru, good luck in the qualifying session.
Thanks.
Thanks. Very good, very good. Hey, it wouldn't be my broadcast if I wasn't botching the Fear the Fun, Slow Motion Fire tags. I don't know what it is. I gotta figure it out. There's something about. You know what? I think Fear the Fun and Slow Motion Fire have similar colors in Discord for their Discord names, where everybody else is like green or blue or magenta or white. You know, it's only Fear the Fun and Slow Motion Fire that have the orangish Discord names. That's what I'm going to chalk it up to. It's not me. It's the Discord name colors. Look at y'all in the chat. See, where were you guys like maybe a year ago? Well, actually, I don't think LS Subaru was doing that whole thanks until recently. But that would be cool. That would have been a cool little tradition to get going. Is just everybody in the chat is thanks as LS Subaru walked his way out of the driver's spotlight. Yeah. All right. I think they're just waiting for a driver or two to ready up here in the lobby. And in fact, there we go. We've got the indication that we're ready to go. 1.75 miles of raceway out here at the Top Gear test circuit. I did host a few events out here on the figure of 8, but they were purposefully like demolition derby style. We'd put drivers in limos and in trucks, VW Beetles and I don't know, Bentleys or something like that, and just let the chaos. It was organized chaos, but we let the organized chaos ensue. And so now here we go. Top Gear test circuit for qualifying race number 6 here of season 54. And in fact, there on the exit of the figure of 8, we do see the tire barrier because, again, it's a mainstay of the track. It's an actual part of the track that exists. And now as we come up to the hammerhead, well, never mind. I take it back because during the qualifying session, they don't have Forza race regulations turned on. It's only in the race itself that they have those turned on. So we do see the tire barriers at the entry of the hammerhead. And now here's Slow Motion Fire is going to lead them down the, I guess what is the first part of the back straightaway. Then, of course, you go in here, the right-hander, letting off the throttle a bit, going to kind of line it up against the tire barrier, shaking the camera. Well, it used to shake. I guess it doesn't shake anymore in Forza Motorsport 7. Now truly down the back straightaway here out at the Top Gear test circuit. Final left-handers. And this is where you got to be careful not taking too much speed into either corner because you'll end up on the grass quickly. And across the line goes Slow Motion Fire, blocking in. Well, we're not going to know because it is, well, Slow Motion Fire, 122.3. Now Enraged Barney with a 117.9. That is the quick lap at the moment. 131 miles per hour there by Chaos Fox, the quickest pace, or at least the quickest clocked speed out on the track. go to LS Subaru, who right now has the 6th quickest qualifying time. I definitely expect that to change here on the first flying lap. Slottle says, back to lurking because I'm driving home. Well, safe drive. Oh, and LS Subaru. I'm not entirely sure where the track limit is there. I don't know that the cones are really the marker for that. And so I'm not sure if Subaru's lap here is invalidated. Either way, not likely to be his quickest time. Subaru's going to have to make it happen here on lap number 3. As about a third of the field comes across the line. We'll see if anybody's able to best Subaru's time. It's going to be Fear the Fun. Well, no, Enraged Barney, 116.4. Back in the pole goes Barney, at least for now. Here comes Subaru across the line. Wow. Color me surprised because I really thought Subaru was, 1, a little bit slow on that lap, and 2, possibly invalidated it, but he didn't. Rather, clocks in a 116.109. Off into the grass. That's going to be Midnight Rider, whose ghosted vehicle comes into view there for Subaru. That's probably, I say that it's nice that we get to qualify all the cars on the track at one time. But yes, those ghosts can be a little bit distracting. Now, a driver of Subaru's caliber, probably not so much an issue. Oh, look at that. Subaru really teetering on the white line there, keeping 2 tires on the racing surface, likely holding on to a clean lap. And then there you see a couple of tires into the red and white hashed part of the track, and a couple of tires there on the grass on the inside, really running this like a Top Gear Test Track Pro. Coming up to the left-hander, keeps it on the tarmac. Oh, gonna run it a little bit wide, but keeps it within the white lines. A 115.2 for LS Subaru. Gonna be on pole unless anybody else is able to do one better here. That's going to be a tricky time to beat, however. Looks like Audrex is going to have the 2nd quickest time. Patches Riley, who's raced there out at Prague, didn't start off so hot. Fortunately, was able to finish 6th. But now, at least at the moment, unless anything changes, is going to be on row number 1 for the start of race number 6. Audrex, Enraged Barney look to be on row number 2, followed by Chaos Fox. And there goes our final driver across the line. Let's go ahead and take a look at those times. Got Soul Motion Fire with a 118.2, a 117.3 for Fear the Fun. Make that a 117.362 to T-Phrase's 326. We're just flipping numbers around between the two of them. Again, Fear the Fun should be on row number 2 with, I believe, Audrex. Enraged Barney, a 116.4, a 115.2. So you got your pole sitter there of LS Subaru with a 115 and a 116.4 for Enraged Barney, row number 1. 120.8 for Modern Weapon, and invalidated dirtied 119.2 there for Born as Ghost. Will be at the back of the pack. Midnight Rider with a 119.1. A 116.3 for Patches Riley. Actually, I take it all back. The 116.3 puts Patches on row number 1 with Subaru, which then leaves Fear the Fun and T-Phrase potentially. No, it is Audrex. Audrex in P3. T-Phrase in P4. And Fear the Fun in P5, row number 3. All right. Well, no, we got Chaos Fox. Hold on. Okay, I ought to just quit. If only this table were sortable by best lap, then I wouldn't have to do the mental gymnastics, the arithmetic here. Well, it's not even really arithmetic. It's just looking at numbers. But I wouldn't have to look all up and down the leaderboard to figure out who had the quickest times. Anyway, Patches Riley with a 116.3, Chaos Fox with a 116.9, Audrex 116.4, 119.5 for Kuda. So yeah, never mind. I take it back entirely. Fear the Fun and T-Phrase are not on rows 2 or 3 because we've got a whole smattering of 116s right here. 119.5 there for Kuda 93 and a 121.3 dirtied and validated by DeBrottom. Whew. Now I know why all of this time, all these seasons that we've ever done, I always just say, hey, we'll see how Slow Motion Fire gets them sorted on the grid, because just when I think I'm looking at a quick time, then there's like a bunch below that are even quicker. Silly leaderboard. Hopefully, with the new Forza Motorsport, league organizers like Slow Motion Fire won't have to do all that checking and double checking and possibly even triple checking to make sure that everybody's in the right spot, that it should just happen. Because Turn 10 has shared that there is a kind of like a race weekend format that that events can follow. Now, I don't think they've confirmed it for public or private lobbies, but I have to believe that template is used for private lobbies where organizers can say, okay, here's the qualifying session for best lap, and then boom, sorts them for the race. How much of a quality of life that thing's going to be for race organizers? It's going to be huge. All right, so we've got 13 drivers in the lobby, so 2 that we lost early on are not back in. I'm trying to spot who that might be. Chaos Fox is back in there, despite getting disconnected. Audrex, despite having a not so great finish, of course, finished 5th overall in the race out at Prague, but having dropped back 2 spots from 3rd, actually dropping back 3 spots, was racing in 2nd there for a bit. Audrex back into the lobby. Good to see. Who else? Who actually might we be missing here? Is it Midnight Rider? It would appear that we're missing. No, Midnight Rider is in there too. Let's see. I'm running down my list here. Not quite sure. Raged Barney's there. Fear the Fun, certainly there. Slow Motion Fire. Audrex. Yeah, I don't know. DeBrottom's there. I don't know. We got the queue here that we're ready to go. All right, it's going to be LS Subaru, Patches Riley. This I can tell you with certainty on row number 1, followed by Audrex and Enraged Barney, Chaos Fox and T-Phrase in row number 3, Fear the Fun, and Slow Motion Fire in row number 4. On the line, LS Subaru lined up on the outside here as they give the advantage to the pole sitter to head into that little dog leg right-hander up ahead here. Kick the tires, light the fires. Race number 6, the second half of season 54 and the final season in the Forza Motorsport 7 for the Forza Spec Racing Series is underway. Out at the figure 8 of the Top Gear circuit, LS Subaru is going to run it wide, which is going to allow 2 or 3 cars to move to the inside and get out in front of our top qualifying driver, that of Subaru. Enraged Barney in first, followed by Audrex, followed by T-Phrase, but now here comes Subaru, moving back up to P3 and looking to get around Audrex. Here comes Subaru to the inside, coming up to Hammerhead, and actually it looks like we do have all the tire barriers, so I wonder, did I miss something? Did Slow Motion Fire say, oh no, we're going to go ahead and have all the tire barriers on? Or does Forza race regulations not even affect those here at Top Gear? Anyway, I'm going to continue on here as they go into the left-hander. You see the 747 there parked on the ramp. Functioning airport that this is. There goes LS Subaru to the inside of Audrex. Nice little pass. Audrex says, I think I'll take that back here as they come back toward the start-finish line. There goes Chaos Fox. It's going to be Subaru, Chaos Fox, Fear the Fun, 4, 5, and 6 as they start lap number 2, and now the field starts to thin out. And so we'll see here over the next, 3, 4, maybe even 5 laps if we start having cars going in opposite directions here at the intersection of the Top Gear Test Track Figure 8. All right, so Fear the Fun now up to 4th position. Chaos Fox in 3rd. So LS Subaru trying to get around Audrex actually loses 2 spots. And now in P5, not likely to last long there. And now it's going to be Fear the Fun, SGR Chaos Fox. It's gonna be Chaos Fox who has Subaru lined up on the back bumper. Now Fear the Fun goes ahead and gets right behind LS Subaru as they go single file into the right-hander, now into the left-hander. There's a little bit of shaking of the camera. And down that back straightaway they'll go. Here comes Subaru rolling up quickly onto the back bumper there of SGR Chaos Fox. The intimidation factor, yeah? Whenever Slow Motion Fire says, "Here we go," I think of Princess Peach saying it. Princess Peach? That was Mario. Let's go! All right, our race leader is Enraged Barney. Let's go to Audrex here in 2nd position in the New York City cab-looking Crown Vic. I think I got a little bit of the action there on the X-Adventure replay. Did I? Did I not? I did. This is where LS Subaru got to the inside of Audrex, but Audrex was having none of it and was able to sneak back down on the inside line and take the spot back. And at least for now, Audrex still in 2nd. Luigi has the Mario franchise's best. Let's go! All of a sudden, we've turned to Mario Kart here. Hello, chat. Welcome to Mario Kart Championship out here at the Top Gear Test Track. All right, SGR Chaos Fox has now dropped back as LS Subaru makes the climb up the leaderboard ladder, or at least the leaderboard of the race, already at the top of the leaderboard in terms of championship points, and looking to get 6 straight here in Season 54. Up to the hammerhead, and it appears the driver's minding the rules here, not to extend or defeat track limits too much. We do see a couple of cars going inside of the white line, but nothing that I think would warrant any sort of reprimand. And now it's going to be Audrex, LS Subaru, 2 and 3 side by side. Down the back stretch they come. As we hop off the onboard camera, it's going to be Audrex to the low line. Here is LS Subaru on the outside. Audrex really loves that inside line, not allowing LS Subaru, and there goes Subaru making contact to the rear right quarter panel of Audrex's Crown Vic. And now we've got 2x2 down the front straightaway. It's going to be SGR Chaos Fox in 2nd, Fear the Fun in 3rd, Audrex in 4th, Subaru now back to 5th position. This seems to be a recurring theme here. And now 3 wide they go, coming through the figure of 8, hitting the right-hander. Back to 2x2. It's going to be Chaos Fox in 3rd, Fear the Fun and Audrex sharing, well, no, Chaos Fox in 2nd with Audrex and Fear the Fun sharing P3 for the moment. And LS Subaru hanging tight there in 5th. Maybe a little bit of contact. Audrex onto the rear bumper of SGR Chaos Fox. Here comes Fear the Fun on the outside. SGR Chaos Fox able to hold hunker down on that inside line and stay out there in second as they come up to the right-hander. Chaos Fox really off over there into the red and white hashed area. And now as they get ready to switch it back over to the left side, it's single file formation. Chaos Fox in second, Audrex in third. Here comes Audrex once again to the inside line of Chaos Fox. Gonna try to make it stick. That he does. You see the brake disc glowing there on Chaos Fox's car, trying to harness the power of the vehicle as much as possible coming off that back straightaway and able to salvage it. Keeps it in second position. Audrex still in third, followed by Subaru, followed by Fear the Fun. Slow Motion Fire is there in sixth position. Then you got to look a little bit further back. Born as Ghost in seventh, Modern Weapon in eighth, Patches Riley in ninth, T-Phrase in 10th. Then you got a smaller contingent. Cuda 93, Midnight Rider 11th and 12th, followed by DeBrana back there in 13th position. Chaos Fox with a little bit of breathing room here in second position, lap number 6 up 23, back through the hammerhead. And it looks like maybe Fear the Fun is going to have to play a little bit of defense with Subaru now, as all of our drivers are on the, I believe this is the east loop of the Top Gear circuit, getting ready to transition over to the west circuit. And yeah, as I look at the gray dots, I'm thinking maybe another 2 or 3 laps, and we're going to start having some interesting conversations. Dad, how are baby cars made? Well, you see, son, they all go out to the Top Gear test track, and as they meet in the middle, a little bit of contact made. And boom! You got yourself another car. Audrex, third position, as LS Subaru now able to get around Fear the Fun and really crank the steering wheel over. Cutting out in front of Fear the Fun, saying, I got your P4. And now back into the hammerhead they go. Here comes Fear the Fun, peering to the outside here at the top portion, the outer portion of the track. And Audrex going to go ahead and crank it back over. It looked like the back end was going to go out. Fortunately, they've got the all-wheel drivetrain configuration now side by side. Through the infield they'll come. And just like that, Audrex now falls back to fifth position, allowing Fear the Fun to move up to third. LS Subaru in fourth. Subaru is starting to lose sight of Enraged Barney, who's out there in first. If this goes on much longer, we're really going to have to question whether or not Subaru is going to be able to make the move to get up there and secure a 6th straight win here in Season 54, but it's still way too early yet to put it past them. Way too early. Plenty of racing to go here in race number 6. Just 3 races to go after tonight. Week number 4, 1 week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on X Adventure. A little bit of contact, more than a little bit of contact there as SGR Chaos Fox into the rear left passenger door of Audrex, sending them both off into the grass. And now that allows LS Subaru to move back up into 5th position. Holy smokes. And now into Hammerhead. Oh, Subaru looking a little slow there. Not sure if maybe Subaru was anticipating Slow Motion Fire doing something different, but yes, we got ourselves a 4-way battle for third with Fear the Fun in the P3 position at the moment, followed by Audrex, Subaru, and Slow Motion Fire. Then we've got a trio of cars, Born as Ghost, Modern Weapon, and Patches Riley, 7, 8, and 9. A couple of cars there at 10th and 11th. That's going to be T-Phrase in 10th. There goes LS Subaru, making that pass once again on Audrex. Unfortunately for Audrex, not able to secure the inside line. And this time, LS Subaru able to make it happen, coming across the line, P4. Oh, maybe a little bit of late braking there for Slow Motion Fire, but seems like he's okay. Okay, here we go, chat. They're getting close. Look at the gray dots there in the bottom left corner of the map. We're going to start to see a little bit of that, intermingling. A little fraternization at midpoint of the track. You're going to be hanging out, some of the back markers hanging out with the lead pack, and may not be too kind about it. All right, easing it up a little bit in terms of the side-by-side stuff here, as a little bit of distance being put between third and fourth. A little bit less between fourth and fifth, about a car length difference there between Subaru and Drex. Slow motion fire falling back a little bit, but Enraged Barney holding on to first firmly at the moment, but you see Chaos Fox there getting the unfortunate disconnect out at Prague, one race ago. Holding strong in P2, and I kind of wonder too if you're Barney and Chaos Fox, if you're thinking, hey, how do we work together to stay out as far in front of the likes of Subaru, Drex, I mean, heck, even Fear the Fun, and might as well throw Slow Motion Fire out there. How do we work together to stay out in front of them? Trot and Boots saying, I'm so proud of him. That Barney running very solid here. The Calsonic liveried Crown Vic in the rear view mirror, however, so we'll see if Chaos Fox is able to keep pace or even close the gap here as we near the midway point. And yeah, I think this next time, folks, maybe not a lot of cars coming together, but the proximity meters will be going off. Here we go. As they come nearly head on, face to face. All right, that gray dot gets by. So that's going to allow at least our top 5, 6, maybe even 7 drivers to get by. Oh, it's going to be close. Let's go back there to DeBronham in 13th position. And the thing is here, too, is that, oh, gosh. DeBronham and Drex, close quarters, a little CQC here. Out of the Top Gear circuit, Drex able to survive that one. LS Subaru falling back to 4th position here as Fear the Fun moves up to 4th. Or excuse me, moves up to 3rd. It's going to just get all the more interesting. Oh, we've got another one coming in. You know, I'm going to have to start moving the camera to the driver. It's DeBronham once again. I'm going to have to, all right, Chad, here we go. Strategic camera work. This is camera work with a purpose. And I know, it normally is anyway, because we want to catch the action. But here, the action is different. Let's try to spot the car that might cause carnage. Let's go to 12th. It's Midnight Rider, who's getting ready to hit the right-hander as our lead traffic comes in. And oh my gosh, I think I saw the braking of Enraged Barney ever so slightly as Barney saw the purple and green chameleon Ford Crown Vic entering the figure of 8, and unfortunately for Enraged Barney, that braking just means that the third, fourth, and fifth place are going to be coming in that much closer here, lap after lap. Fear the Fun knocking on the back door of SGR Chaos Fox. Enraged Barney's going to run it wide, although that might be Enraged Barney's line. As I look ahead, we don't have anybody getting ready to enter the figure 8 from the opposite side. Instead, you see there, oh, Enraged Barney getting a little bit closer to Midnight Rider than I thought he would. Woo! Oh, we got 2 wide. It's going to be Chaos Fox. And is that Fear the Fun? I think it was Fear the Fun lining up on the inside. And look at this. Bumper to bumper across the line here at the Top Gear test track, beginning of lap number 13 of 23. You're seeing this for the first time in the Forza Spec Racing Series, and you're not likely to see anything like this ever again. It is the final season here in Forza Motorsport 7. They're saying farewell to the Top Gear test track. And they said, you know what, we might as well run the figure of 8. Why not? Why not? Here comes Enraged Barney, unfortunately getting a couple of tires, more than a couple, 3 or 4 there on the runoff area into the grass, and that allows Chaos Fox to move up into the top spot, or at least be side by side into the Hammerhead. A little bit of contact, Fear the Fun on the back of Chaos Fox. That's going to propel him forward. Then Enraged Barney gets into the side of Chaos Fox, has him sliding through the right-hander, and just like that, Fear the Fun has now moved up to P1. Chaos Fox in second. That's going to be Fear the Fun. No, hold on. The timing is a little bit goofed up on my screen. Fear the Fun is definitely out in front. We've got Chaos Fox in second. There goes Chaos Fox to the inside here of Fear the Fun. I think he's going to be able to make it stick. Let's go to Chaos Fox. Oh my gosh. And now SGR Chaos Fox with a race that did not go so well out at Prague in P1 at the moment. But anything can happen here at the crazy and chaotic Top Gear test track. It looks like our top 7 are maybe going to make it through. Hold on. I take that back as there goes T-Phrase through the intersection, and now they're going to close in on each other here. It looks like Chaos Fox actually kind of nudged himself, got himself up against the tire barrier to try to avoid T-Phrase and not have any contact there, because that would definitely not be a good spot where T-Phrase carrying a lot of speed. Chaos Fox not so much. Chaos Fox would probably be the big casualty in that situation, but rather holds on to P1 for now. Fear the Fun in second, Enraged Barney in third, LS Subaru in fourth, Odds Rex a little bit further back, gonna have to gain some ground there in fifth, and oh, we've got another vehicle coming in here. Oh, and major contact! It looks like T-Phrase has spun out. I'm not sure if that was T-Phrase and maybe Midnight Rider making contact, but nonetheless, T-Phrase doing a pirouette there midfield. Fortunately for our top 5, able to make it through unscathed. But let's watch it for the next time through. I'm keeping an eye on the left side of our track map here as our top 5 are on a collision avoidance mission at this point. And it looks like the all clear for now. Let's go to Enraged Barney in third position. At least for now. The changing up of the guard of the top 3 here is so frequent that it's difficult to keep up. I think the timing in game is even having a bit of a struggle knowing who is in what spot at any given corner here as they go back into the Hammerhead. Very much single file formation this time through. And let's see. Oh, we've got trouble brewing. Let's go to, it's going to be 11th position. Midnight Rider once again in that Chameleon Crown Vic. Here we go. Oh, and it's going to be just a little bit late getting to the party as everybody hits the dance floor and quickly egresses out. They're like, nope, we want no part of this. Back on board here with Enraged Barney, third position. LS Subaru in fourth. He's really going to have to start making some passes here and making them soon as we have eclipsed the halfway point in this 23-lap race. Oh, we've got somebody. It looks like somebody spun around here on the figure of 8 portion. I'm going to keep the camera here on the lead lap cars because that's really the most important at the moment. If I can flip back and forth, we will. But Chaos Fox continue to lead them around the circuit, out in front, followed by Fear the Fun, followed by Enraged Barney and LS Subaru. Barney and Subaru side by side coming up to the Hammerhead. Can you guys imagine if every race was like this? I'd be out of a voice midway through the week. Midway through the night, even. All right, Enraged Barney now gives up P3, so this might be the charge that we're anticipating out of Subaru. They were able to avoid oncoming traffic this time through. Oh, Fear the Fun, well wide. He's going to go over there and kick some cones. Where's that Kappa cone in the chat? That's what it's for. Kappa cone. Enraged Barney to the inside, really holding it down, keeping Fear the Fun from getting back up to P3, and just like that, Fear the Fun now drops back to P4. There you go, Trotton. Through the figure 8. They just came in a little bit late to worry about oncoming traffic, so no problems here. We'll see if that situation stays the same next time through. So far, T-Phrase has been the appears to have been the biggest collision so far. But again, simulation damage turned off. They always run that way out here at the Top Gear circuit. Even though this is their first time on the figure 8, it's because there is no pit lane on this track should somebody's car become incapacitated. So it's not unusual that we run with no damage turned on, but it is unusual that we are seeing the intersection. It's usually the east or west loop here. Whew. Slottle says, I just realized I was yelling at my phone over a video game race. Well, you and me both. I'm sitting here trying to keep up with the action. I know the pitch is, or not the pitch is high, but the energy is high here. This is a good one, and with about what 6 laps remaining here in this 23-lap race, I would say there is still a lot on the line and more changes in position to be had. A little bit close contact or a close encounter there. The back markers with our lead lap traffic. LS Subaru now up to second position, knocking on the back bumper of SGR Chaos Fox. Can Chaos Fox play enough defense? Maybe get a little bit of help from the back markers here next time through the intersection? We'll just have to see. Let's see who's shaping up to be in line for this one. I don't know. Let's go to Patches Riley. It's gonna be really close. Actually, let's go to Modern Weapon. Yeah, a little bit, looks like Modern Weapon and Patches are going to be a little bit too soon. As you can see, Chaos Fox in the background. What a shot that was. Oh, there goes Chaos Fox saying sayonara there. Modern Weapon tags the back bumper of the back marker coming off the exit of the, both were coming out of the midfield or the intersection here on the figure of 8 as Kuda now is able to shake. Oh, hold on. Let's go to Patches Riley. They're on a collision course. Patches Riley are lead traffic. Oh, how scary it could be there for all drivers involved. Patches Riley able to scoot on through. So no incident there. Let's go back to Fear the Fun here in third. I only wish there was a way for me to do like a picture-in-picture of the multiple locations of the track. But alas, I am doing the best I can here. Let's go back to Patches. Actually, you know what? Let's go to Modern Weapon. Modern Weapon looks to be right on track. Let's go onto the camera, the bumper view as they come up to the intersection. Oh no, look at Andrex! Andrex, unfortunately, I'm laughing. Andrex probably not so much. Contact made. Modern Weapon just goes spinning about. I'm not going to lie, chat, because I call it as I see it. I'm pretty sure Modern Weapon became a rolling roadblock there. I'm quite positive Modern Weapon strategically positioned the side of that Crown Vic right off the nose of Audrex. Let's go to 7th position. It's going to be Kuda 93 in the Sprunkmobile from Grand Theft Auto, is able to get through without any incident. So let's go to Patches Riley now. Getting to the exit. Oh! Can you imagine if Patches went ahead and gave the boot to Fear the Fun? It was looking pretty close there. LS Subaru now our race leader out in front, but yeah, I wouldn't say that lead is safe considering the circumstances here. Here comes Chaos Fox looking to the 8 side, not able to get a run onto the inside line there of Subaru. So they'll go single file formation. Not really anybody on the opposite side, at least now. Patches Riley is closing in on Audrex, or actually that was Fear the Fun. Patches Riley may have had a shot at Fear the Fun and decided that, you know, not to be not to be a Newsome there and just let Fear the Fun be as they cross the line, the beginning of lap number 21 of 23. So just 3 laps to go, unfortunately. I'm telling you, this is why I was advocating. Here we go through the intersection. Oh, like a Hot Wheels Stunt track? You gotta be kidding me. There was no contact made there as 7th slow motion fire and Kuda93 in 8th position, able to dissect our lead traffic. I think Chaos Fox actually had to get on the brake to avoid destruction there. Oh my gosh. You've got to be kidding me. Here we go. Back through the figure of 8. Let's go to Patches Riley. Face to face with our race leader. Oh, it looks like maybe Patches on the brake a little bit. Did not want to have any part in ruining the race of our top 3, or even top 4 for that matter. All right, so, well, speaking of our top 4, they've got their work cut out for them to catch up to LS Subaru, our race leader, and now trying to go for 6 straight wins here in Season 54. It's been a little bit more difficult for Fear the Fun trying to get up there, but he's for Subaru to get up there, but he's made it happen. And fortunately now for Subaru and Chaos Fox and Fear the Fun and Enraged Barney, oh, Kuda93 got close. And now as they get to the tire wall, they're going to be close there, but yeah, no contact. Holy smokes. Let's go ahead and go back to the X-Venture replay. Look at this real quick. You're going to have to spot it real fast, but it looks like Kuda93, slow motion fire, 6 and 7, get in just in time before making contact with, gosh, right here. Get ready for it. Here we go. Oh, just right off the rear bumper of Subaru, and before Chaos Fox was coming through. Again, I think maybe Chaos Fox planned it out so that he wasn't just completely blasted and T-boned there by Kuda and slow motion fire. And now, here on what is going to be our final lap, sadly, we could do this all day. Sadly, it's going to be LS Subaru coming across the line. Well, not sadly Subaru leading the race, but the white flag drops here. Final lap, lap number 23. It's Subaru out front, followed by Chaos Fox, Fear the Fun in 3rd, Enraged Barney in 4th, and really, those 4 drivers are not going to have any issue, although we do have a couple of cars. That's going to be Born as Ghost in 6th position. There was contact with, I'm trying to see who, was it DeBronham? Born as Ghost and DeBronham? Oh, and there's a little bit of contact, more than a little bit of contact, but let's go back up toward the front of the pack. There is Subaru closing in on one of the back markers. That's going to be Midnight Rider in, looks like 12th position. Chaos Fox on it. And Chaos Fox might need a little help from his friends. Joe Cocker, as we come through the figure of 8 here, not going to get it. LS Subaru comes out unscathed. So does SGR Chaos Fox. Can he do it himself? Can he make the pass? He's about 5-6 car lengths back. And of course, the consistency of Subaru is probably not going to allow it here. Subaru's going to push it, or Chaos Fox is going to push it as hard as he can, but try as he might, not going to make it happen. LS Subaru across the line with the win, followed by Chaos Fox, followed by Enraged Barney, followed by Fear the Fun, followed by Audrex. And now we've got Born as Ghost in 6th position. They're going to go ahead and race this out toward the start-finish line. It's Born as Ghost and Slow Motion Fire, the battle for 6th. Chad, I know we like our racing semi-serious. I know the Forza Spec Racing Series is all about the fun of competition and keeping the competition as clean as possible. But gosh darn it, it's the end of Forza Motorsport 7. It's their final season in this title before they move on to the newest. And that was just straight up fun. Woo! Patches in 8th. Kuda in 9th. And then it's going to be Modern Weapon, Midnight Rider, and T-Phrase. I believe, unless they've gotten out of order here. But right now I show Midnight in 11th. T-Phrase, DeBronham, and I believe that's it. Yeah, how did we not have 23 drivers for that race? Oh, that's where we missed it. I'm telling you, that should have been the finale. That really should have been the finale. The schedulers, they needed to follow the lead of the NFL and just schedule primetime games, knowing which ones are going to be the headliners. The Top Gear test track as a finale would have been just fantastic. All right, chat. Trotton Boat says, it sucks that Barney had to brake for that split second to avoid getting totaled, but at least he stayed in the race. Yeah. Finished fourth. Yeah, Barney led the majority of the race. Unfortunately, relinquishing control as so often happens, is that LS Subaru gets up there eventually. Took much longer than usual. In fact, usually Subaru doesn't have to climb through the ranks and is just there. But wasn't the case here. But with about 4 laps remaining, Subaru crosses the line, or Subaru gets in first and then crosses the line, picking up his 6th straight victory here in Season 54. Wow, chat. Well, I am going to try to recoup my voice a little bit. We'll talk to drivers in the driver spotlight. If there are any exciting interviews to ever have been had, it's got to be after a race like that, huh? Has to be. You're not going to miss anything when we get back. We'll do the driver spotlight. We'll talk about what content is ahead here on the broadcast, and we'll close up the night going into our penultimate week, 1 week from tonight, week number 4. So we'll do a little bit of a preview of that. I'm Dustin Moore. You're watching the Forza Spec Racing Series, Season 54, Week 3 here on X Adventure on Twitch. I'll be right back. Whoa, I think I have recouped a little bit of energy after that crazy, crazy race. Top Gear Test Track. Our race winner, LS Subaru, is waiting here in the driver's spotlight. Subaru, you have many accomplishments, many achievements, many accolades to your name here in FM4, but do any of those amount to the amount of fun that you've had or had out here at the Top Gear Test Track? And of course, I'm only assuming, but that had to have been fun.
Yeah, that was definitely one of the most fun races that I've had in FM4. That was quite the banger.
There was we've got it perfectly on stream. It'll be on the recording, but there was a point there at it had to have been not earlier than lap 21 or so that you're coming in start of a new lap into the intersection. You make it through, but as immediately as you do, Cuda 93 and Slow Motion Fire just come screaming in after you. And it appears that maybe Chaos Fox had to get on the brakes just to avoid contact. But do you recall this? Do you remember seeing those cars just flying, back behind you, or were you so focused ahead that you didn't even notice?
I saw them approaching on the opposite side of the circuit, but I wasn't aware that it was that close.
It was
Yeah,
very
I
close.
mean the agreement was that if you're going into the intersection, you don't like slow down to avoid the collision. Like you just go full send, and that's exactly what I've been doing. That's exactly what I did the whole race, and you probably saw in some of the intersections that I completely bulldozed some people over.
I tried to get the camera on those who were coming from the opposite direction of you all as the top five, the lead pack, and there were quite of like clinching moments of like, oh no, here we go, this is going to be the big one, and it was actually the misses, the near misses that were more comical, but then also like captivating than I think the collisions were. But you were able to stay out there and out in front. You made the pass for P1 with not. It was probably right around the time at which that collision nearly happened. But you only had like 4 or 5 laps left. Was there a part of you thinking, "Oh my gosh, this might be the track that doesn't allow me to finish in first here"?
Yeah, it was a pretty close race. It was mostly all because of that lap one, turn one mistake that I made where
Yeah.
I braked way too late going in on cold tires. It just understeered off the circuit and lost, and I just kept bleeding positions up until I stopped it around P5. And then at that point, I was just very slowly but surely making my way through the cars.
Don't sugarcoat it now. This is not a time to hold back and give us your very respectable professional driver etiquette response. Who made you the most nervous out there through the majority of that race?
Uh, I, I mean, I don't think there was a person that didn't make me
No.
nervous during
Oh,
that
not
race.
okay. That didn't make you nervous.
Yeah,
Got it.
yeah. I mean, because there's so much chaos going on at that race that anything could happen from anyone, you know. So,
Yeah.
uh, yeah, just gotta be careful. Well, I mean, we're all always trying to full send it through the intersection. So even then, you just gotta, if you see someone approaching and they're about to smack into you, you just gotta accept it.
Just got to deal with the consequences. Well, the consequences were in your favor, or the lack thereof. Finishing in first, not only for this race here at the Top Gear Test Track, but now 6 in a row of the 6 races that we've run here in season 54. LS Subaru, well done, and way to make a show of it here in this first race of the second half here in season 54. And even though this means we're saying goodbye to Top Gear Test Track, that certainly gave us quite the event, quite the show for us. Any parting words, last words for you here this evening, or for you here on a Wednesday morning?
Uh, it was just a fun race today, and I think there should be a good way of showing the people out there that this is a very fun series.
Yeah.
So Like, if you think this is fun and you have the game to play, come sign up. If you don't, then that's fine. You can wait until the next game comes out.
Yeah.
And come race with us then.
Yeah, there you go. I mean, what better an ambassador for the Forza Spec Racing Series, but the soon to be 12 or 13-time champion here, the winningest driver in Forza Spec Racing Series history. Well, awesome work here tonight, LS Subaru, and we look forward to seeing you in week number 4.
Lay.
There it is. Somebody in the chat's got to do it. Anybody? It's not the tanks, it's the Lele's. Nobody? Okay. We're still the dancing emotes has exhausted us, and we're no, not tanks. Lele's. There you go, Ghibli. Got it. All right, let's go ahead and bring into the driver spotlight now. The driver who held the P1 position for the majority of the race, unfortunately, just too chaotic to be able to stay out in front for the all the way to the end. Enraged Barney here. Falling back to 4th position, back behind Fear the Fun and in front of Audrex. Did you at least have fun?
Well, hold on. Don't get it wrong. I was 3rd in the end, okay?
Oh, okay. Well, you guys...
I passed him in the final corner.
Fear the Fun... You passed Fear the Fun?
Yeah. He was a bit butthurt, so he pulled in front of me in the lineup.
Okay. So that's what happened. Okay. That does not surprise me that he would do that, and so that while I'm taking notes of where everybody finished, that he could show up as 3rd. So there you go, folks. Correction. Unofficial correction. Fear the Fun in 4th. Enraged Barney in 3rd. But you didn't answer my question. Did you have fun?
Oh, it was a fun is like, it's kind of subjective, I guess. If you consider panic fun, yeah, I had a blast. But yeah, it was a chaotic time. It was trying to worry about the cars around you and trying to worry about the cars crossing over you the entire time. If you were 1 millimeter too far forward or too far back, you could be collected at any second. And it's kind of having to keep an eye on everything while trying to keep your car on track. It's a little bit chaotic.
So, we were just talking with Subaru, and there was one point, it was actually Chaos Fox who was in 2nd at the time, but you were not too far behind, of course. Like I said, maybe lap 21, 22, somewhere around there. It was probably the closest non-collision of the entire event, where as Subaru came through, immediately from the opposite direction was Cuda and Slow Motion Fire. Was there any time, if that was not it, that you were like seriously expecting just complete chaos and destruction out there, thinking that as try as you might to be out in front, like now all of a sudden you're going to be at the back of the pack?
Well, are we counting ones where there was contact or where there wasn't?
Well, sure, you can count the ones where there were contact. I just felt like that was the one that could have really shuffled up the field and changed the dynamics of the finish. But go ahead. Which one was?
I can give you one of each. So with no contact, there was one point where me, Fear, and Chaos Fox, and this was right before Chaos Fox took 2nd. We were going 3 wide to that that fast corner in the middle section, and there was 1 or 2 cars going into the right at the end of that section. So we were like 5 cars wide, like diverging at the exit of the crossover, and that was scary. But I don't think there was any contact. And for the ones that did have contact, there was 1 lap at the end of the race. Me and Fear were going 2 wide into like the exit of the crossover, and I just got smacked in the rear by someone. I don't remember who. I thought, oh, that's it. I'm gonna be in 5th. I'm not even getting near the podium. But yeah, I mean, somehow I ended up with the podium. So those are probably my 2 big Code Brown moments.
Code Brown. Slottle says in the chat, definitely an adrenaline-filled race. I mean, I was getting the adrenaline rush going myself as the commentator, and then Trot and Boot says my heart rate is so uneven and I didn't even race. So not only were you all experiencing, but it seems like our viewers also were having some heart palpitations watching the chaos unfold.
Yeah, I see that. I mean, you're rooting for a car to win, and as soon as you see a car heading towards them at about 100 miles an hour, looking like there's gonna be a head-on collision, I could definitely see you starting to panic, like, oh no, it's my driver. What's gonna happen there?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely it's definitely more
Yeah.
scary in the car, but I can see it being scary as a viewer.
How many times more would you have wished this race to show up in any of the past seasons? Like, was this something that you
Dude,
wish would have happened before, or
oh my
is it
god,
just very apropos because it's the last season in Forza Motorsport 7, so this is the only time that it makes sense?
honestly, I loved the track. It was for some reason I had enough pace to win,
Yeah.
but it seemed like a weak point for Subaru, so they gave everyone a
Yeah.
chance to win. And then it just gave really close racing. Like I don't know if you saw, there was a 5 car battle for the lead towards the end, from Subaru back to Audrex. I mean, it really likes to clump cars together,
Yeah.
and the added chaos of that big intersection, it comes together to be a perfect track.
So I'm sure Slow Motion Fire, For the Fun, Modern Weapon, who help run things here in FM4, are taking notes in that there are a couple of ways you could throw a wrench into the plans for LS Subaru: oval tracks, uh, and then of course something crazy like a figure of eight. Not likely to rear its head again. Particularly heading into the new Forza Motorsport, which is not likely to ever have the Top Gear test track again. So this one's definitely a farewell in terms of this circuit. But man, you're absolutely correct in that it's just enough of a change up in attitude and approach that even LS Subaru can be challenged, and he was up until about 3 or 4 laps remaining, where he was able to get back up there. But and Rage Barney, it was great seeing you out there in front. You were having a heck of a race. Unfortunately, dropping back those 2 spots, but glad to hear that you enjoyed it. And what do you have shout outs for here tonight?
Of course, the usual for Trotting Boots and Slottles.
Yeah.
And shout out to the other 4th that was racing in that battle. Chaos Fox, Fear.
Mm-hmm.
I take that back. I don't want to shout out Fear,
Yeah, don't
but
do that.
Chaos Fox, Subaru, and Audrix. Shout out to them.
You're being way too kind by
Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking.
giving Fear a nod. Yeah, that is you, Slottles. Yeah, he's talking about you. Very good. All right. Well, hey, Barney, I'm not sure what this means for you in terms of your overall standing. You and Audrex were tied coming into week number 3, so I'll have to let the folks who can actually do the Excel spreadsheet and let the Excel spreadsheet do the math, let them figure out where you stand going into week number 4. But looking forward to seeing you out there 1 week from tonight.
Thanks for having me.
You bet. All right. Let's go to SGR Chaos Fox, another component of the top 3 there. Unfortunately for Chaos Fox, well, fortunately or unfortunately, I guess, depending on how you look at it, you were there in second position for so long toward the end of the race. Of course, you, Fear the Fun, Audrex, LS Subaru really jockeying for position there behind Enraged Barney for the majority of the event. But man, how crazy and chaotic was it for you there just to try to hold on to second place?
That race was a wild ride right from the beginning. That tricky uphill left-hander, and I saw Subaru go wide, and I just did not expect that. And that alone, just I had no idea that was going to foreshadow just how chaotic the entire race was going to be. But kind of wish I held on to first place. I can't believe I was in first for as long as I was.
Yeah, that's true.
But I had so many moments. I think I only made contact once over the crossover, and I think it was with Modern. And I tried going wide because I was going through because when you're going through the crossover back to the start finish, I think that's called Hammerhead. I wanted to go wide, and I just misjudged it, and I hit the back of Modern. Subaru got past me, and then oddly enough, the next lap, the same thing happened to Subaru, and I got back ahead of him. Just so many swap play. I'm still trying to process everything.
You guys were swapping positions so much that even the game in terms of timing and knowing what position you all were in was slow to respond. I was having to just call it as I see it and not rely on the little indicator on my screen to see where you all were sitting. It was chaotic, but also fantastic at the same time. Now there was I keep bringing this up here through the driver spotlight interviews, but there was a point there toward the end of the race with maybe 3-4 laps to go where LS Subaru had taken the lead. You all had just started a new lap coming into the intersection. Subaru gets through, and at least from our perspective, maybe it's just a matter of perspective with the camera, but it appeared that as soon as Subaru went through, Cuda 93 and Slow Motion Fire just came screaming across from the opposite direction. And then, of course, you, Fear the Fun and Rage Barney, not LS Subaru, but probably Odd Drex, then made your way through. But I was just sitting there like, oh my gosh, Chaos Fox is about to get just demolished right here.
I saw the two coming, and I it was either slow down and lose second,
Yeah,
or just try to keep my speed
yeah,
and get. I was extremely lucky. I was not expecting to survive that, and after I got past that, all I did was try to focus on reeling in Subaru. Like, Subaru wasn't quite getting away from me, but I wasn't quite reeling him in. Our pace was pretty close, and I think that's the most frustrating when you're almost dead even and you're
yeah,
making no ground, but you know you're going fast.
yeah.
But I think, honestly, if that race was about 3-4 more laps, the end result might have been much different.
Oh, I can almost guarantee it. Like I was even sitting there watching the time in which we were finishing the second race of the evening here, thinking, okay, this race could have gone on for another handful of laps because we really kind of got done a little bit early there, and I almost wish it had. In fact, my advocating that the Top Gear test track get moved as the finale, I'm now thinking about that and like, man, that would have been so much fun to have 60, 70, 80 laps around the Top Gear test track as the final race.
Oh, an enduro around here. I mean, it's a shame there's no pit lane, which is
Yeah.
really why they don't
Oh,
do
that
the
would have been,
enduro. But
yeah.
if there's a pit lane here and we do an enduro, oh my God, you thought today was exciting, and then you double that, like, forget about it. Like,
Yeah.
it would have been probably this league's most ultimate finale, and it would have been the best way to be send off Forza Motorsport 7.
Yeah. I really, I've shared my disdain for Bernese Alps, but now I'm really upset the fact that Bernese Alps occupies the final spot on the history books for Forza Motorsport or for the Forza Spec Racing Series in Forza Motorsport 7. Bernese Alps does not deserve this.
No, I've never been a fan of that track either, but we're not gonna see it again. That's the track that got voted, so uh I gotta eventually start practicing there again because I haven't touched that track in
Don't
so
even
long.
worry. Don't even worry about it. It's not worth it.
Yeah.
I
Oh
despise that
boy.
track so much. Fear the Fun, aka Slow Motion Fire. I'm telling you, a missed opportunity. This should have been the finale of for the ages. But instead, we're gonna go to Bernese Alps.
What are you gonna do?
What are you gonna do? Well, hey, I'm glad it was such an exciting and fruitful race for you here in this one, because definitely a roller coaster of emotions for you in week number 3. Of course, we know that you had the unfortunate disconnect there in week number 1. Either voluntary or involuntary. I know there was some craziness there on lap number 1 out at Prague. So obviously, it's a situation where the championship is out of reach, but glad to see you come back for race number 6 of the season, and hope to see you back out there again a week from now.
Yeah, I'll be back next week. Prague was really unfortunate.
Yeah.
It was just one hit right after the other, and when I decided the suspension damage, I was gonna try to deal with it for the entire race and try to hold on to 6th, and I'm like, yeah, I'll just pit and get it over with. Not even a quarter of the way through my through the through my outlap, and the game just crashes.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even disconnect. The game crashes, like, just one after the other. So, I knew if it wasn't for Top Gear, I might have sat it out because I was pretty mad. So,
Yeah.
but I'm really glad I came back for Top Gear.
Yeah, certainly glad you did. The more cars out there, certainly the merrier it was. I'm only disappointed though because I put the call out that hey, let's get 23 drivers out there at least once this season as a proper send off to the season. I know the Forza Spec Racing Series started very strong in this game with filled lobbies. Of course, 6 years of Forza Motorsport 7 is what is the contributing factor to people kind of stepping away. But man, can you imagine 23 cars out there at the Top Gear circuit? That would have been insanity.
Whoa. I think the crossover would have been a much different story.
It would have just been a parking lot.
Oh, it would have been absolute chaos.
Any shout outs here? Speaking of Chaos Fox, any shout outs tonight?
I don't know if she's still in chat, but my friend Silver Alethea, I know she was cheering me on.
Yeah.
So big shout out to her. Also to Subaru, Barney, Fear, Audrex. What a battle. Like, hands down, this is the best race I've had in this league since over 4 years I've been here.
Nice.
Best race. Hands down, best race. I'm still, like, giddy about it, but, like, I'm gonna need, like, a whole hour to chill out now.
I talked about how some of the races that I hosted here, and we did it for fun, but it was like organized chaos. Everybody raced clean on the outer loops, but at the intersection, it's just full bore. That was replicated here tonight, and I think it just speaks volumes to the series that you guys can have so much fun, and yet the race still feel so legitimate, even with a little bit of the carnage. I mean, there wasn't a whole heck of a lot of carnage, but what was there was interesting to see. But again, I think that speaks volume to the league in that you guys can come out here and even make a race like this look good, be exciting, and yet I feel like everybody's probably come away with it thinking I'm pretty satisfied where I finished. I don't know that anybody's race got destroyed there.
No, I mean, some people fell back a little bit, but
Yeah.
I think everybody's pretty happy with themselves after this race, and I'm ecstatic because this is the best finish I've had in this league, P2, so I'm happy.
There you go. Remind me, it's Chaos Fox CR2.
Yes, that is my Twitch channel.
All right, let me get a link here, folks. Certainly, I'm guessing Chaos Fox, as the new Forza title comes out, you'll be streaming a little bit of that.
I do plan on it.
Okay.
There's a good handful of racing games coming out, and
This is true.
I have my hands on Motorfest, and that's gonna get some time too. And
Nice.
I got it the other day, put about 2 hours in it. It surprised me, and I really like it.
Yeah, I know a lot of people were like, oh, that's too, it's too much like Forza Horizon. But for those who really enjoy Forza Horizon, it seems like a positive that you've got not only now just Forza Horizon, but you got the Crew Motorfest to go check out as well. So even if you're not convinced about that game, certainly if you need a little bit of help persuading you one way or the other, maybe it's not a buy for you, but maybe watching a little bit of it is. Certainly check out Chaos Fox's channel as that game gets released, along with the new Forza Motorsport channel. I can't recommend it enough. A lot of times I'm lurking in there, but between that and you going back in time to the Gran Turismo titles, it's always a great variety of motorsport, automobile. Certainly, you've always shared like a great deal of your motor or your automobile knowledge on there too. So even if people aren't there for the racing, it's the conversation about cars.
Yes. Oh, definitely. And speaking, because you brought up Gran Turismo 2,
Yeah.
Once I get my hands on it, there's another really cool, lovingly created mod for Gran Turismo 2 where a handful of devs put in a whole bunch of 90s JGTC cars into the game that were never in the original game.
Ah.
And on top of that, these guys, these mad geniuses put the 1996 McLaren F1 GTR Longtail into the game.
Nice.
And once I get my hands on the mod, I'm going to do yet another playthrough of GT2, but it's going to be with some of my all-time favorite race cars from the 90s. So I'm excited about that.
There you go. Not only do you get a flashback in time, but you get to see content that never was in some of these games. That's awesome. Yeah, the mod community for the Gran Turismo series, now that they're available on emulators and stuff, is astounding. And yeah, I like I said, I can't recommend Chaos Fox's channel enough. Go check it out when you get the chance. Chaos Fox, great chatting with you. Well done out at the Top Gear test circuit. Hope to see you out here 1 week from tonight for, well, the last 2 of 3 races that we've got on the schedule here this season.
Yeah. And I will certainly be back. Thanks for having me.
Betcha. Have a good one. All right, I say the last 2 of 3. It's 2 of the 3 races that remain here in Season 54. That's what I actually mean. And let's go ahead and take a look at that schedule here. Just to let y'all know where we're going is we're going to step away from the fictional world. Well, Top Gear test track isn't so much fictional. It's a real place, but typically you don't see any cars racing like we did tonight. So we're going to step away from, I guess, the less realistic to the more authentic racing. It's going to be fun. Either way, no matter what you want to classify it as. I'm not entirely sure where I'm going with that myself, but Sebring 13 laps at night, the full circuit. I can't believe I'm saying this, but Sebring not going to be available as a launch, as a track at launch of the new Forza Motorsport title. Now, Sebring's got to be one of those circuits that Turn 10 is just polishing up and going to put back into the game at some point. I have to believe. If I am wrong on that, then oh my gosh, how that piece of racing motorsport history is not carrying into the new game. I don't know. Maybe there's licensing things. I don't know. I don't know what could cause it from not showing back up in Forza Motorsport. But let's just hope that this farewell 1 week from tonight is just a short-term farewell, and that Sebring makes a return. One track that we can probably bet that we're going to be saying goodbye to indefinitely, Rio de Janeiro, full circuit in reverse, 12 laps around that one. You guys know how crazy that one is. You got so many different racing surfaces, from asphalt to concrete to cobblestone. And of course, it's another city circuit with very close quarters. Lots of concrete on either side, with the barring a few sections that are a little bit wider. But should be another night of great racing here 1 week from tonight, week number 4. So the penultimate week here in Season 54 before our Week 5 finale, race number 9, September 26th. I'm getting a little sick saying it, but yes, the Bernese Alps Club Circuit, 65 laps. Boop. Boop. Again, Fear the Fun, aka Slow Motion Fire. I'm sad. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Slow. I'm so sorry that I for whatever reason, do that. You guys don't even have Discord or Xbox Live names that start with the same letter, but yet I get the S and the F mixed up. Chat, thank you so much. I know we had a pretty good showing of viewers here tonight. So those of you who tuned in, maybe for the first time, glad to have you. If, again, you'd like to see more of the Forza Spec Racing Series, we've got 2 more weeks of it left. If you'd like to participate, you certainly can. You won't be in the running for the championship with just 3 races remaining, but a good opportunity for you to get involved and get yourself familiarized with how this league is operated, so that when the transition to Forza Motorsport happens, it's not going to be right away, as they got to allow everybody to kind of build up their garage, build up the number of credits they have, also build up the upgrades that you have available, because Turn 10 is taking this approach where you have to have vehicle XP or manufacturer XP. I don't know which one it is, if it's model or if it's make. Anyway, they're going to have a bit of a buffer so that everybody can build up that garage, those credits, that XP, and then at some point, Season 55 will get underway in the new Forza Motorsport title. But no better time than now to say, hey, I'd like to get involved, get in onto the grid here for race number 7 and 8 in week number 4. If we can get 23 drivers out there on the grid in the final season in Forza Motorsport 7, I would say that that's one heck of a finale in and of itself, even if it's not the final race of the season, even if it's race 7 or 8. If there are 23 people out there, I'm going to celebrate that as a win. Either way, I'm celebrating as a win. Don't get me wrong. What a fantastic season it's been with the Forza Spec Racing Series crew, and we're not even done yet. And what a time it's been over the last, gosh, I don't know, 4 years or so that I've been commentating here. And sad to say that with no spectate feature in the new Forza Motorsport title, that comes to an end here in 2 weeks' time. So it's a bummer, I know, but we're gonna enjoy it while it lasts, right? Right? Yes, we are. Of course, we are. So those of you, like I said, who may have tuned in for the first time, thank you so much for being here. For those of you who are subscribers and are holding on to your subscription here in the last month in which I will be streaming, I do appreciate your support, and hopefully you're getting the best bang for your buck here in this last month with that ad-free viewing, being able to see all the content uninterrupted. And for those of you who are still clicking the follow button, despite this being like I said, a dead channel walking, thank you for that, at least nod that you are enjoying the content. And I do thank you for taking the time to stick it out and hang with me here through the last few streams of the channel and here in the month of September. I will be back live on Friday. Yes, Friday with a little bit of Microsoft Flight Simulator. We're going to jump back into that with the V22 Osprey. I enjoyed flying that a few weeks ago. We're gonna do that again. If there aren't any missions, because I can't remember if the developer of the MV22 has put missions into the game or if I have to go just kind of create them myself. Either way, we're going to go dive more into that. And who knows, maybe after a few hours, we'll fly some other aircraft and enjoy the world of Microsoft Flight Simulator. But that's what we've got going on starting at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. 3 p.m. Eastern Time. And then on Sunday, 9 a.m. Well, what is this? Why do I have stream starting soon? Hey, chat, the stream is starting soon, just so you know. That's why this channel is coming to an end. Can't even operate it correctly. 9 a.m. on Sunday will be something. I don't know. It could be Truck Simulator. It could be something entirely different. Might throw y'all a curveball. I don't know. Do we ever know what's going on? And then as you see here on the screen, on September 29th, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern, that will be my final stream here on Twitch with the Lego Back to the Future DeLorean build. Yeah, so if you want to come hang out with me, there won't be any gaming that day, but I'm just going to put Legos together in the form of a DeLorean with Marty and Doc and Einstein. Actually, I don't know that Einstein's in there. I don't know that you get a Lego dog. Trot and Boot says, don't worry, Dustin. Soon the American Truck Racing League will drop, and you'll have your announcer job once again. No, I think I'm good. It's a sad but true reality is that it just wasn't meant to be. No spectate feature in the new Forza Motorsport. It was just meant to be the end of an awesome ride. On that note, all right, folks, hope to see you Friday, maybe Sunday, definitely next Tuesday. Until then, be happy, be healthy, be kind to one another. Goodbye.